Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Connected Corrections, No Perfect Parents. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. This week, I got so many great topics that I want to share with you, starting off with my child is so spoiled. So many times I hear this statement from parents, not only in my workshops, but sometimes it's even just amongst my girlfriends. We're talking and we're just saying, like, is it just me or children so spoiled? Okay, what should we do about that? Okay, the next thing we're going to get into is, do you believe in apologizing to your children? Is this too woke for you? There is a heartfelt video that I found on the internet this week, really touched my heart, and it was from a mother to her son, and I can't wait to show you guys that, and we'll talk about it. And last but not least, Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up. It may have already happened, or it's approaching in your state. What are you doing to show your teachers and your educators that you appreciate them or not? One teacher literally got the stinky end of the stick. We will see some more about that when I show you the clip from her mini rant, and I can't say I blame her. Join me for these stories on today's episode. Let's dive right in. Okay, as I was telling you, there is like a huge topic amongst my friends who have kids, young kids, teenage kids, whatever the case is, and they talk about their child being so spoiled. And this can be anything from not wanting to do chores, or every time they say no to something, their kids go into full out tantrum. And I'm not talking about little kids, I'm talking about big kids, ages 10 and up. And they're asking me, Shauna, what should I do? And I always start off with brainstorming, right? I took some notes because y'all know, again, I am a storyteller, and I will go on and on and on and on and on. So in my notes, I said I first start with brainstorming. Okay, how did they develop this habit? And it usually starts with, when they're little, and everything that they ask for, they're being given. Anything they want is given to them on demand. Now, this is not to say that you should not give your kids things or anything like that. I don't want to be, taken out of context, but it is just saying, like, if they walk in the store and everything that they point to, they are being given instantly without any type of like earning it, then sometimes you create that little monster, not the child, the behavior, of course. And a lot of times I realize that parents feel guilty. Either it is because of they have busy schedules, they're working a lot, so they find gifts and giving their children, overindulging their children in things is kind of a way to make up not necessarily spending time with that. I also find that in parents that are separated, they overindulge, whether it is making up for the lack of one parent being present. The other parent feels like they have to also overindulge, or it's the parent who maybe doesn't spend enough time with the child. Again, they want to overindulge because they want to, make sure that they're making up for that loss. You're confusing fulfillment and joy. Again, because you are not able to maybe spend time or emotionally give to your child, you find ways to overindulge them with physical things. Or I realize sometimes it's the child being only a child, so you can afford to, and many times that's not a bad thing. Again, it's just how the gifts are giving and how the child is being indulged in those things. So again, the problem is not the child, but more in you as a parent. Okay, so what are you trying to make up for as to why you feel the need to overindulge your child or spoil them? Which takes me into this quick story. There is this story of the boy and the butterfly. And I am going to pull it up real quickly because I just want to make sure that I am reading it correctly. But this story, I want you to just listen to the story and then we'll talk about it. So the story of the little boy and the butterfly may help you understand how rescuing children from all suffering creates sweetness. And this is taken from the workbook from Jane Nelson from the Positive Discipline Workshop. All right, a little boy felt sorry for a butterfly struggling to emerge from its chrysalis. He decided to help so he could save the butterfly from the struggle. He peeled the chrysalis open and was so excited to watch the butterfly spread its wings and fly off into the sky. Then he was horrified as he watched the butterfly drift to the ground and die because it did not have the muscle strength to keep flying. Now, I really want you to just keep that in mind. Again, many times as parents, it is in our best intentions because we want our children to feel good. We don't want them to struggle. We don't want them to experience what it's like to lack. But in doing that, we don't realize that we create instances where our children do have the potential to either be spoiled. They don't develop the muscle to be able to face adversity or disappointment or not getting their way. And we end up with spoiled children, right? So I'm not going to leave you hanging when it comes to a solution. So I want to say, first thing, hold or suppress the urge to fulfill those demands. I know, we want our kids to have everything that we never had, but again, just make sure that you are not overindulging them. Think about it. What is the reason that I'm giving this to my child? Is it to show appreciation? Again, it can be just because, but make sure that is not so often to where it's almost expected and the child becomes entitled to thinking they have to get things. All right, that leads me to the next point, which is you want to teach the difference between wants and needs. We are in a culture where we literally want everything. Every day we are being marketed to, we need containers to put our cereal in to make sure that's aesthetically pleasing. I'm guilty, of course, of that as well. But again, we want to just make sure we are putting things in the category of wants and needs. All right. Sometimes there is a time, sometimes it's time and attention. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. Sometimes it is time and attention. So think about it. Does my child need a thing right now, or are they craving for some time and attention? Many times the child is going to associate spending time with you to maybe doing an activity or spending time with you to going somewhere, when it's really the time that they want, necessarily the place or the thing that you guys are going to do together. And also remember, it is okay to just not give in immediately. Weigh your mind, weigh your options, okay? Just because they say it on a Monday doesn't mean by Monday afternoon that they have to have it. Sometimes it's okay to wait and hold things off. And again, it builds up the resilience to know that just because I ask for something, I don't have to have it right away. There is sometimes a waiting period between that. All right? And you want to realize and just reinforce self-control. Again, just make sure that all parents are on board. Again, and that's going to be extremely important, especially if you are not living with the other parent or not in communication with the other parent. Because that, sometimes can also create a lot of tension as well. That is going to bring me in to the next topic. Y'all, I came across this video and all I can say is get your box of tissue now. Remember when I asked you, how do you feel about apologizing to your child? Listen, I am an advocate for it, okay? We are not perfect, hence the name of the show, No Perfect Parents. We are not perfect. And there is no way we can guarantee that every single time we are going to get things 100% right. Okay, and we can't act like the things that we do, even in those moments of not meaning it, does not hurt our children. And when we are laying the foundations, especially when we want long-term healthy relationships with our kids outside of when they don't depend on us, it is imperative that we put pride aside and be okay with apologizing. And when I say apologizing, I mean sincerely just laying it out there and just knowing, you know what, I am committed to doing better and being better now that I know better. Y'all, watch this video real quick.
I'm sorry for the damage that I did.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me. I was emotionally and verbally abusive. I used you as a container for my rage. The rage against my own father. I cursed God that He gave me sons because of the rage that I had. You are not responsible. You are not responsible for my rage, for my emptiness. And for 27 years out of my 64, I've been working on my own healing.
I forgive you.
Oh. Okay, let me just take my shoes off. I can't take it no more. Forgive her for what? Let's be specific. Let's be specific. I forgive you for.
I forgive you for tearing me down. I forgive you for telling me you wish you could leave me after Daddy died. I forgive you for yelling at me every day, no matter how many times I came home, cleaning the house. I forgive you for every moment I hated because you hurt me. I forgive you for every time I hurt myself. I forgive you.
Guys, wow. That's literally all I can say is wow, because I watched that clip several times before deciding to feature it, and I'm just like, you literally feel the sincerity on both parts. We can't guarantee that we again are going to always do the right thing, but it takes a lot as a parent to come down off our high horses and wholeheartedly apologize to our children for sometimes our own traumas and the things that we're battling. Sometimes they do become the outlets for us, which is completely inappropriate. And as we grow and as we become better, we learn that. But that does not mean we still don't turn back and give them those apologies. All right. And how do you recover from making mistakes? Through positive discipline, there are 4 R's of recovering from your mistakes. Number 1 is the first R, which is to recognize your mistake. This creates awareness around acknowledging that you did something wrong. How better to show your child that you are not perfect and you are actually a human being, because many times children put us on a pedestal that parents can't make mistakes. So to humanize yourself, just letting your child know, hey, I made a mistake. Number 2, looking for that opportunity of reconnection. This can be sitting them down, having a separate conversation, whatever you do that it is that you are going to reconnect with them. All right. And you're going to, again, share with them that you did something wrong. Number 3 is to reconcile. That is when you are apologizing wholeheartedly, not placing blame, not saying but, not justifying, but apologizing and just saying, I am sorry. And the 4th most important part is to resolve. focus on a solution. How can I do better next time? Okay, we are, sometimes toxic culture says, I apologize, and then I make the mistake again, then I apologize. No, as you grow and as you learn and you become aware, now you are consciously, okay, making the effort to make sure you do not make that mistake again. Apology was great. That was a beautiful moment. Is it me, or does it seem like every time we turn around, there is something due at these kids' school? I'm just kidding, but either this week, next week, or sometime coming up, I'm sure you've seen it in all the stores that it is Teacher Appreciation Week. Now, this used to be my favorite holiday as a teacher. I am not gonna lie, my students and their parents always treated me so well. I was so blessed, I should say, except for 1 year. I've always had a principal who made it a point to make sure that we felt appreciated, whether it was through massages, lunches, gift cards. I've gotten purses, wine. I've gotten so many cute things. Definitely loads and loads and loads and loads of mugs, loads and loads and loads and loads of candles, loads and loads and loads and loads of fragrances, body splashes, hand sanitizer, all those cutesy stuff. But some of my favorite teacher appreciation gifts that I have kept even till this day is a little box that I have filled with thank you notes, cards, doodles, drawings, all those little cute things that kids gave to me over the year. And I used to keep them in my drawer, in my desk, and that was per my mentor. For every time that I felt like the stress of teaching was way too much for me, I would dig into my drawer, read one of those, and it would be the little pick-me-up that I would need to carry on with my day. So if you are not sure what to get one of your teachers, along with a gift card, go ahead and throw in a handwritten note. I promise you, they will love it. But the video that I am going to show y'all today shows a teacher that was not feeling her teacher appreciation gift. And let me tell you, you do not want to be one of these parents, or if you are a principal, shame on you. You don't want to treat your teachers like this. So let's get into it.
You're appreciated. I had a very special thank you package dropped off for me today for putting in over 100 hours of work on top of already being a teacher last year for something. And I just want to show you this extra special thank you they wanted to give me, because really, you're going to love it. I got this bag of very nondescript candy. I got 2 boxes of tape, but look, it's the invisible kind. That's pretty cool. A luggage tag for all the traveling I'm doing with my huge teacher salary. A notepad to remind me that I always have more things that I have to do. No rest for teachers. Just remember, things to do. You got more. This thing, oh, and the best one, you're going to love this. 2 loose binder clips. Wow, I feel so appreciated and thanked.
Guys, that is wild. Oh my goodness. Listen, if you are a principal and that is what you are giving out for your teachers, let me tell you something. It would be better for you to just give them a pack of Sharpies or some dry erase markers, because them things is not cheap and it would be put to good use. But that was a mess, and I can only imagine what that felt like, because again, she said over 100 hours of overtime. Now you may think that that is an exaggeration, but I kid you not. If as a former teacher, I was to add up all the extra time that I spent doing my job outside of the classroom, let me tell you, she is not kidding when she says that. And it has nothing to do with planning time or time management. It is just the dedication that almost is like an underlying thing that you put into doing the job. So whilst I'm not saying, go outside of your family budget to get something for your teacher, but even if it is a small token of appreciation, whether it be a handwritten note or whatever your family can afford, trust me, I do say that it is important, just like you would your firefighters, your policemen, and anybody else who dedicates time to your community, you tip your servers, all that good stuff, just in the good nature of it, that your teachers will appreciate you. That is unfortunately all the time that I have for today's episode. Make sure that you are turning your post subscriptions, notifications, I'm still new to YouTube, but make sure you're turning that stuff on so you see these videos drop every Monday. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and do so now. Catch up on the last episode if you did not do that as well. Stay connected with me at No Perfect Parents on Instagram and Facebook. I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye, guys.